produce going to August. No bullshit.
Damn.
And they're cheap as fuck.
Mad interesting to me. I was about to go to sleep and this just woke me up. I love when people are transparent with me naturally and don't force me to read them and use my intuition to see their true intentions. Be exactly who and what you say you are with me. Save us both time and energy because that's time and energy we could spend truly connecting. This one stuck out to me because we were talking about relationships the other day and we were talking about being honest and how you're not really communicating if you're not being honest. And I don't
Well,
know, this
it's a
comment right
lower
here.
level. It's communicating is just a low level of communicating.
Yeah, not very efficient.
Yeah.
Everyone has intention, and you gotta kind of like observe your setting and where what you're trying to get out of it at that point in time.
Yeah. So like
So
the last
different,
one,
different from work, home, school, etc.
yeah, so the last line when it says because that's time and energy we could spend truly connecting, that one hit me. I think we waste a lot of time, you know, bullshitting basically with each other, you know.
Yeah, but if it's an honest interaction, I think that's great. Still, always like a great exchange of energy. Like I mean, as long as it ain't full of bullshit, like lying and trying to get over on somebody or some shit like that. If you having fun with a person, you talking shit, even if it's oh man, you an asshole. I mean, if you're having fun, like I think that's still a good exchange. But you know,
Yeah. Like you said, low vibration. Let me play
It
this clip.
sounds like small talk.
And I absolutely hate small talk. I hate it. I won't engage in it. That's why they say you're quiet. You don't talk. I'm not going to talk about nothing. When I
it's
start
hot.
talking,
It's
yeah,
hot
it's hot.
outside, huh?
Yeah, how's the weather? How about them strolls? I don't
Bitch,
give
what
a.
you mean? How's the? It's hot as fuck.
Don't you sweat on your forehead right now? Like we don't need to mention this. Let me play this clip. This has gone viral. It's an old clip, but y'all might have seen this because it's very viral right now.
I think this is the most ridiculous thing that has ever happened. And just as free as we are, they have the same opportunity to work and to build their part of the town up just the same as we have. I just don't understand it and don't approve of it. I'm going to stand up for my rights.
Jim Knight with WALB Television News. We're soliciting the views of Albany people on the Civil Rights Bill. Would you like to give us your views?
Well, of course, being a Southerner, I'm not for it at all.
What I'd have to say wouldn't be fit to go on air. I don't like it. I think they're trying to put something on us that we don't want.
I see.
We ought to have a national election on it rather than just letting 9 men tell us what we got to do.
I sure don't like it, that's for sure.
Do you feel this will have any effect on your life directly?
I imagine it will.
Thank
This
you
is
very much.
Probably we might have to live next door to us.
the very people who get to use it talking shit about it.
It's crazy. So, like, this is 1964 reactions to the Civil Rights Bill. So that's what those clips were. And the first lady is the one who struck me because she's being all the way honest. And then the last thing she said, I'm gonna fight for my rights. Let me start that over because her clip is the one that made me fucking like. She said, I think it's ridiculous that this has ever happened. The niggers are just as free as we are. They have the same opportunity to work and to build their part of the town up just the same as we have. I just don't understand it and don't approve of it. I'm going to stand up for my rights. So crazy. Like, that is so insane to me. So it's your rights are infringed upon because this other
Well,
person has the
but
opportunities that you do?
no, but see, I mean, but that's how clueless a lot of people have been and are still to this day. Because like even right now, like people really believe that they're like the things that they're talking about on politics. Most people are just getting their verbiage from right directly from the news, and they just repeat whatever it is that what somebody else is upset about, or what they've told you. This is how you should be responding. This is, look, you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, and this is what you should feel. And don't let people try to take advantage of you. Blah 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 blah. Like most people are just like back then, because like I said, the same people then that's talking shit in the 70s and 80s or whatever, they utilize civil rights more than the people who fought for it.
Yeah. But I think that this first lady, though, I don't think, and I agree with you, most of the words that's coming out of people's mouth is fucking some shit they heard somebody else say. But I don't think that lady, the first clip, I think she was just being 100% like how she feels. And a lot of people, I think, feel that way, and still to this day. And it's, I mean, your brain doesn't connect that, you're really kind of saying that you are lesser because you feel like if another people have the same opportunities as you, then that's going to infringe on your rights. Like, how does your brain do that?
I don't know. But the second one is what really kind of got me, I guess, is because listen to her saying, well, me being a Southerner and all, I'm not really for it. Like, wait a minute, no, you individually, you don't have to be a Southerner. You don't have to be a, Alabamian, you could just tell me how does Susie really feel? You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, she's going on, she knows the news. It's the news. She's trying to be politically correct. She's saying like, oh, well, I'm a Southerner, so, we don't really do that.
So it's like, just because you're from the South, I'm supposed to hate niggas. Like, that's it.
Yeah, I gotta think this way, and I don't want no crosses burning in my yard, because niggas is okay with me.
It's such a huge cop out. It's like taking the responsibility from yourself and saying that since I'm a part of a community, the community looks at things this way, then I have to look at them that way too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really have no choice in the matter.
Because, I mean, you got to think about how brutal the white supremacists have been, whether they were, regardless of what side they've been on. Like, if you agree too much with, the progression of black people, shit, you gonna, like, they're gonna treat you just like, shit, you worse than a nigga.
Yeah.
You a nigga lover.
Right. And we'll string you up right along next to them.
I will look. I have your children scared for their life, and we probably gonna beat your husband up in the street, and you got to deal, with all of them coming to you, looking, looking for some kind of somebody to ease them down or cool them down or whatever. Like, they always have been brutal, and anybody who thinks that these Democrats have been nice at some point, they haven't.
It's a face, it's a mask that they put on.
Yeah, it's just totally covert racism. That's all it is. They lied to your face, and they still go do exactly what the hell they planned to do from the beginning, which is nothing.
Yeah, they talk that shit and then go attend the Klan rally that night.
Yeah.
Let me read some comments underneath. DLQ Lee is the one who posted this. His comment is, they couldn't stand the thought of black people being able to have an equal opportunity to have a better life. Damn shame.
Well, his dumbass, he'll probably, just because of what they're saying, he'll swear to God that those are Republicans.
Yeah, he's
and I guarantee you, it's a mixture. There are Republicans and then there's Democrats. There's both in those crowds of people that.
And that's why, as a community, we can't be looking for leaders who are comedians, basketball players,
because they get paid to say what they say. Like especially DL Hughley. Like I never really was that fond of his comedy, and he needed some way for him to be able to make money and continue. So okay, I get it. But for people who really listen to him and like, bro, like you're worse off because you're not even in a position to think for yourself. You listen to what the hell he got to say. he's getting paid by
Yeah.
most likely Democrats because that's who he takes up for all the time.
Yeah. So, and most of the stuff is unintelligible, and sensational. So, and that's what people like
Yeah.
attach to. They want something. They want to be angry. So he doesn't really give a lot of his commentary. Isn't educational. It's all just like something to get you riled up. But that's what you do when you're an entertainer. That's how you get paid. India Ari posted on this same one. She said, and this is what it looks like to be on the wrong side of history. Some of y'all need to check yourselves. Don't at me because I don't care.
Don't give a fuck.
Another comment. It says, they just hate us so much since the beginning of time, and their hate keeps growing as we did something wrong being born into this world, just as they were born into this world. The first
Bro.
shall be the last, and the last shall be the first. Just wait. I love people
No.
who love people. Don't hate you due to a color of your skin in which you didn't have any choice over anyway.
Well, yeah, but see, it's the science, bro. They're mad at science. The ones because I tell my son, it's not all white people that is gonna hate you and try to talk shit and say this and say that or whatever. But the ones that do are mad at science because like and there's white scientists, black scientists, Indian or from India, like all the scientists say that somebody has superior bloodline over yours. Well, pretty much everybody else has superior bloodline. Whether what I'm saying, everybody in between black and white has superior, bloodline over the Caucasians.
Well, the way I would say that is recessive genes, because you can't lump them all together because everybody doesn't have the same bloodlines, regardless of what ethnicity or background or cultural heritage. That's why I don't even like that. It's so hard to have these conversations because
Because you're gonna hurt
racial.
somebody's feelings. Because you're
No,
gonna
no,
hurt
that's
somebody's feelings.
no, not that. I mean, yeah, I do be concerned with that, but that's not what I mean. What I mean is, in my brain, it's hard for me to have these conversations because, like, we're talking about genetics, and then people want to turn genetics into race, which is not the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, it is.
racial.
That's what it has turned into. That's what it has turned into. Like, I mean, like our race is based on our genetics. Like, for the most part, that's what it has turned into. So I mean,
Right.
and
So,
I didn't do it. You didn't
yeah,
do it.
I
But
don't. I
that's
hate
where
it.
it has
I
come
hate
to.
it so much because it's confusion. Because I always say, like, the race that doesn't really exist. It's a social construct that's just created in people's minds. Like, it's not even real
No,
at
it's
all.
no. Well, no. It is real. I mean, genetics is like we're not all the same,
Yeah,
and
but
if we,
that's
for the most part, we have all of our system works the same, but because my skin just so happens to come out a different color, like like just as individuals, we're all different. But even when we look at it based on race, because genetically, we're different.
yeah, but that's where you're saying you're inputting race and genetics together, and they're not
Hello.
the
How you doing?
same.
Need a refill?
Well, but that's the thing. Like the way they have categorized us racially puts us in those
Yes.
boxes together. So I mean, it's like I said, it's not my doing.
Yeah, I'll take a receipt.
This is
Yes, ma'am.
something
I'll
that has
take it.
been going on
All right, thank you.
for at least the last century or longer. You know what I'm saying? It's a new construct because I mean, when we were at the head of everything, we didn't we didn't break people up like that. But of course, when you're inferior, you have to find a way to make yourself superior. And you know, hey, I get it, but instead of just saying, you know, because it's not us that did this.
I agree with that. Let me read some more comments under here. It says, not much has changed. Well, hello, neighbor. Another one says, less than 60 years ago. Some don't even want to think about how recent this was, or it, shall I say, is.
I know.
Another one says, and
But
nothing has changed.
but that's the thing. Like the whole, because I'm sure we'll end up talking about this more. But the whole idea of not wanting to even talk about slavery in school anymore, they want to call it involuntary uh, removal or in some crap they coming up with in Texas. That they
Yes,
don't
they're not slaves. They're what was it? No. They were involuntarily
relocate.
relocated. Yeah. That's some crazy shit. They wasn't
But
kidnapped and turned into slaves and taken over the sea into a new place. They was involuntary relocated. That sounds a lot better.
no, it actually sounds like bullshit because like you know, like for kids, like all right, do you know how like this how pissed off kids are gonna be when they grow up and they realize like mom and dad was just full of shit? Because I mean, there's okay when they realize what that means, and so, you know, somebody who's just gonna be very candid with them about history, because like I'm gonna be with my son, and anybody that takes a lesson from me, they're gonna hear slavery and then this whole story of what kind of bullshit they tried to pull because you know they're so ashamed of their past that you know, and obviously it's not really just their past because they're also making it their current. You know what I'm saying?
Because
Like,
and I agree with you because this is a mess though. Because let me read this comment. It says this is the type of clips they should show in schools. It's real eye opening. So look, and it's back to what you're saying because like they use that whole critical race theory. Like okay, so if the teacher was to play this in class, they would call it critical race theory, and everybody would lose their shit. So this is what it is. This is what it is. When they say critical race theory, they don't want nobody to see this. It's only 60 years ago. The kids should see this shit. This should
yeah,
not be eliminated out of school.
but when everything is based on a lie, like you know, like I mean, they're really setting themselves up for their own children to hate them. Instead of being like, yeah, we did some fucked up shit, and you know what, we need to do things to make ourselves better. This is not who we are today, and we should, you know what I'm saying? But they don't want to be accountable. They want to hide it, sweep it under the rug, and act like it never happened. When there's people who still have grievances, like they haven't even tried to clear up the whole reparations, like try to, you know, like they won't even fix the part that they messed up so that it would be easier for them to sweep it under the rug where people won't be like, you know, still talking a bunch of shit about what happened to them, and like because it's not going to end.
It's not
You know what I'm
because
saying?
I get what you're saying. Because the thing where people say, "Where my 40 acres and a mule at?" You know,
Yeah.
and they actually have a valid, argument.
And when they killed off a president to keep from giving us our 40 acres and a mule, because that was the thing that Abraham Lincoln was like totally like we gotta give them land, we gotta give them this or that. Like we can't just leave them out here with nothing, and that's why they killed him. Like there was a whole nother proclamation. What It was a whole nother proclamation. I forget the rest of it, but the Emancipation Proclamation was a whole nother article than what we see today. You know, everything that was supposed to be promised to us, they pretty much went and pulled it out. They did a whole new document. So
And 40 acres, even today, that's a long ass time ago. But if you gave 40 acres and a mule,
to
these
every
dudes
woman and child,
they would be rich.
who
Rich
us?
as fuck. Yes.
You said us? Oh, you said they would. No, yeah, like
Whoever received, yeah,
we would be okay, and like all the bulls, like we wouldn't give a damn because guess what? We would have been able to have our own schools. We would be able to do all these, but I mean, because they wanted their cake and eat it too. They want to
yeah,
be able to usurp, like they want us, our spending habits to go over into their neighborhoods and
yes.
their corporations.
And that's what I was
But
about to
they,
say, because that's what this makes me think about. I think about integration because it happened over and over and over again. But integration was a real turning point, I think, um, for the negative impact of Black people. It really was. It really was. And I don't think that people can really see it that way, even though because Black people was suffering as a result of segregation. We're talking about the old South and them not
well,
being able to use bathrooms
well,
and water fountains,
well,
but Black people were building shit back then, and they
well,
had their own shit.
that's the biggest fear because I mean we talk about Tulsa and there's that South Carolina and like there's different places where shoot New Orleans like I mean there was a lot of different places that had Galveston uh like there's a bunch of places that were doing great but
So
because of their hatred and like because them like their whole purpose for blowing up Tulsa or trying to ruin these places that we lived in and our own communities is because if they continue if they did not do what they did, guess what would happen? We
we
would
would
like the
be
country
balling. We would have
we
states that would be ours and shit. So I've been thinking about this a
we
lot. I'm
would
like,
we would be
what if?
running the country for the
Yes, what
we
if?
would
What if
because guess what
segregation
we would have
continued?
had more children. We were so conservative like when money's getting bad for us like we stopped having children the way we used to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just think if we was balling and we continued having children the way we used to, what was gonna happen?
Imagine how many things would be different. Like we would have our own police, so you wouldn't have police coming in there and killing your people and shit like that. I mean, so many things would be different. I think that the
Yeah.
whole community would be more united. People would look out for each other.
Oh man.
We have the hashtag of Buy Black. They're trying to push that hashtag. It's been going for a while. Buy Black, Black economics, and all of this. If segregation continued, people would have no choice but to buy Black for the most part. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't even have to have a hashtag that says Buy Black. It would just be what people did. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, like say, bro, others would be forced to do the same. Like you know what I'm saying? Like how we just up and go spend money with the biggest corporations to the Nigerians on down at the corner, the Asians at the liquor stores or whatever.
And this is so deep because I don't think we would even have slums and ghettos like we do because the way the cities
No,
are designed, the
but
Black people are pushed into the shitty areas and that's where they live or whatever. But if it was Black areas, certain areas, the Black people would build it up and it would not be a ghetto. It would not be
bro,
trash.
look, say, bro, I'm gonna tell you, like, I mean, because the thing about it is, like, we're already been a very influential people, even with the minute power that we have been able to have in the last few centuries, bro. Like, if we were able just on a equal stand, like, even if we were still just 12-15% of the population, and we were able to, you know, do, what I'm saying, we had the money, like, we had more control over our communities and things like that, bro. There would be so much less problems in the entire world.
Like
Like
all
I've already envisioned
damn,
it, like, bro, like the entire world would be different because
damn.
that's you
Damn, you
just
just blew my mind because that I hear you. And because right now I'm just thinking about the companies and businesses that feed off of the Black community, like the corner stores, I don't know, the liquor stores, the churches,
well,
and You know, all of these
Well,
businesses that make money off of the black community, and most of the time these are not black people. And
well,
you know,
just think about the guy that started the internet, the guy that came up with Wi-Fi. Like these are black people that came up with these ideas for the internet, the computer, like all these different things that we have. And if we were able to invest in it ours, you know, up front with our own people that came up with it instead of it getting stolen, I mean, where would we be? Like, you know what I'm saying?
we would be
Shit,
the
the
ones
person.
with that technology, or at least the first ones, and be able to sell it out and make a bunch of money. And what about sports? I mean, there's so many parts to this. If we were still segregated, how would professional sports look? And how
Oh
would
my
the
God.
colleges and shit and look? You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Who would go to a sports game that's not a black school?
Nobody. And then, like all of the white kids that are good at playing sports, they'll be at a black school.
They're gonna be trying to get into black school. So it would be the opposite. Because right now you have the best people, the best black folks getting taken out of the hood and putting into University of Ohio, University of Kansas, or some fucking bullshit like that. Because he's a talented, whatever. And then he goes to university.
He totally got plucked out of the community and
Bro.
put over here with them, and they get to benefit from it. And the community just lost another fucking person that could have had a positive impact on that community.
Yeah, but I mean, I think about even just with like Louisiana, because I mean, you know, a lot of people like they look for LSU, like that's where like people come from all across the country trying to go to LSU, but still, just in the state of Louisiana, shoot, Southern University was able to grow like it should have. Grambling would have been able to grow like it should have, bro. Like,
Imagine. And my brain just goes crazy because somebody said it one day. Because I was taught all the time that segregation, because that's what we see. We see the fountains and the people, and then we see the shitty schools that they were going to. And then that's what they show us in the pictures. And they're like, segregation was terrible, black people were suffering, segregation, integration helped black people. And that's what I generally thought. You know what I'm saying? Growing up and all the whatever. And then I heard somebody say segregation was the worst thing that happened to black people. And I was like, say what? What the hell? That don't even make no sense to me at all. That's how I felt when I first heard it. But then I started looking into it more and more and more and more and thinking about it more and more and more and more. And I'm like, wait, there's something here. There's something that happened there at that moment. And it wasn't for the benefit of us.
definitely wasn't. Like I mean, they knew. Like the one thing about, I ain't gonna lie, they are very calculated. They're far from dumb. Like these, you know, I talk my shit about them, but they definitely far from dumb because they knew, like they saw right away what it did when they boycotted the bus. Like even back when the bus was a nickel or a dime, and them nickels and dimes wasn't showing up the way that they used to. Shit, they like, oh no, look, shit. Look.
You can sit wherever you want to on the bus, as long as you pay that nickel.
For real.
We losing way too much money, and that's so true because that's what happens. Boycotts work. What they care about is money. It's always economics. You know what I'm saying? It's all. It's the economy. Stupid. That's what it is. So yeah, when they organized that, that bus boycott, that hurt them. That hurt them bad because. Who is riding the damn bus? To this day, who is riding the bus?
Yeah. Just woke up.
Mad interesting to me. I was about to go to sleep and this just woke me up. But this is what I'll say about that. Not everybody can control their car the same.